Hello, hello. I hope you can hear my voice and also see my screen clearly. So this is as per the request we had previously. We'd like to look at the possible setups that we are expecting on gold, although the month has already almost ended. So we'll look at the setups that are still developing and also the levels that you're supposed to look at if you are to trade gold successfully. So let's load it. We have it here. If you're wondering, whatever I'm having on the screen, this is just a 30 simple moving average, period moving average, and then we also have the 200 simple period moving average. So I'll start off, I'll draw my levels first, then I explain each level, the ones which I've drawn, so that you see how you can use them to trade. Delete this first. The first thing here is that we are upwards, the price is heading to the upper side, and what is supposed to say is that the previous month's candle, which is this one, is actually a bullish pin bar candle. Where I'm having my mouse now, you can see that that candle opened here. It went as high as this level. The high is a bit small. It went as high at this point and then went as low as this point, but then it ended up closing just a few pips above where it opened. So this was just a very good pin bar, and the fact that the price came up to the opening of the previous candle and closed above, this is a very good continuation pattern. So if you see something like this where there's a high which is this high, the first candle, this one, it has a high which is above the closing of this candle. Then there's the next candle, which is now this one, which has a low lower than the opening of the previous one, but it ends up closing above. This means we are upwards. So whoever is looking at gold now should already be knowing by now that this is still upwards. The fact that the price closed as a pin bar and above the high of the previous one means that we are still upwards. So on this chart, without looking back to the past, you can see that we do have a continuation pattern. Let me highlight that. Maybe it's not clear. This is a continuation pattern. These three candles are very good continuation pattern. What they means are that we are still somehow upwards. So you need to keep looking for buy positions. If the price can pull back slightly, look for buy positions. If you didn't buy it based on the monthly chart, like if you didn't buy it here, you're supposed to be looking for buy positions on weekly, daily, or even on the 4 hours. So other than this formation, we do have this level here, a resistance. We have a very good resistance here. We also have a resistance here, and then you also have level here. This is support. Then there's a trend line which runs all the way from this point here. You can see that the price tested it like 3 times. So we had here a support, continuation to the upper side. We had a support, then a continuation. It came back and sat on the same place which was used previously as a buy place. So if you are to buy it previously, this is which month, which year? This was in 2018. If you are to buy it, this is the correct place you could have bought from. This zone here, this was the ideal place where somebody could have taken a buy from. So gold so far is still upwards, and the price is currently breaking above a major resistance, a monthly resistance. You can, this is around 1829.28. If the current candle can close above this level, that would mean we are still upwards. If the current candle closes successfully above 1829.24, then that will mean we are still continuing to the upside. So the idea is to wait for price to retrace back down so that you can pick a buy position, and that should only happen at the end of this month. Is that clear? We want price to close above that resistance, that is by 31st of this month. Let's see when this month ends. By 31st of this month, that is Friday next week, if the price has closed above 1829.24, then we want it to retrace back so that you can buy it when it has come back to the same place. Is that clear? Yes, I hope that should make sense. So that's what I'm waiting for on the monthly chart. I want price to close beyond that level. Then come next month, it should retrace back so that we pick a buy position. That's according to the monthly. Let's see what we are having on the weekly chart. So the weekly chart may be slightly different. Maybe we could be looking at a sell on the weekly chart, but that sell should just be just a retracement on the monthly chart. So this is still upwards. This is very much upward. In fact, there's no retracement here as of now. We are not waiting for any retracement. This is still upwards, and the reason is this. I'll add an indicator. This is a 200 simple moving average, and then you also have the 30 simple moving average. As you can see, there's a cross here. The price crossed somewhere around this point here, which means somehow we are still upward. So as long as the price is held above these two moving averages, the first one and the second one, we are still upwards. I'm not going to sell anything. Instead, I keep holding for buy position. I want price to maybe to give us a pin bar or retrace back to give me even more buy position. So if you are observing it now, you're supposed to be looking at this level. Look for price here, and also this level. Wait for price here or this level, 1679.41 or 1745.67. So if the price pulls back up to the same place, then that would mean you're looking for a buy position. The other chart, we are going to look at the same chart also on the daily time frame. Let's load it afresh. On the daily chart, I'm going to add fib levels. I'm going to add fib levels, and I'll use this as the swing low and then this as the swing high. We drag it like this. So this is the swing high here, and then this is the swing low. If you use the fib levels, you can see that we actually expect a retracement up to around 23.6% fib level, or the price may likely come down to 32.2% fib level. If it continues down, then the next place you want it to get to is 50.0% fib level. If the price now breaks below this fib, the 51, then that will now mean we are downward. So as it is now, as much as the weekly chart is a buy, the monthly chart is a buy, we still expect some retracement on the daily chart. We expect price maybe to pull back up to this point. We expect price to pull back up to around 23.6 or 38.2, or the next place is 50.0% fib level. We look at the next symbol. We'll look at silver. One thing before I move on, silver and gold are almost correlated. They are positive correlated, which means if we expect a buy on gold, we expect the same buy on silver. Okay, I'm going to explain that now so that you see exactly what I'm saying. Just look at what happens from the year 2002 and 2010 on silver. There was this rise in price. The price moved from this point up to this level. This is how many points? This is an increase of how many points? Of around 44,000 points. Then gold did almost the same thing around the same time. We had, this is 2002. Yeah, it moved up around, this is 153,000 points. So you can see the same thing happened when gold was gaining value. Silver did the same thing. It also rose, and then when gold was pulling back here, there was a similar thing happening on silver. So the other thing, what has not happened now is that gold has got back to the highest height it has reached so far, while silver has not done the same thing. You can see here that gold is already back at this high, while silver has not yet done even half of that move. Like we are yet to see price hit this resistance here. What this means is we are likely to see gold reverse to the lower side. These two are supposed to be moving in the same direction. Both of them are metals. We expect them to be rising at the same time. So if this one has gone back to this level while silver has not done the same thing, that means gold may likely reverse to the lower side. So as much as we do expect price to close above this level, if you correlate it with silver, you can see that highly likely we may see price retrace to the lower side. So keep watch. Even if gold closes above this level, wait for more confirmation that we are continuing to the upper side. So silver, this is what we had. Another correlation aspect, you can see previously we had a pin bar on silver. Yeah, this was a pin bar, the previous month's candle. Also, this was a pin bar, which means they're doing just the same thing. The exact same thing happening on silver is the same thing we are seeing on gold. So silver, we have a resistance here, a resistance which is now being broken. If the price closes beyond this point, 20.278, then that would mean we are continuing upwards, and we do expect price to continue up to somewhere around this point. So technically, we just want price to retrace back down. We want to see a possible retracement maybe up to this point, so that we pick a buy position up to 27.49 to this one here. On its way upwards, we do have this level, and then after breaking above our target, we have the next level, which is this. Then the next level is this one, and then the next one is this. So this is purely based on price action levels. If we add fib levels to it, you can see that we still expect more retracement to the upper side. We've taken this as the swing high, and then this as the swing low, which means if the price is to pull back up, the best place to wait for a sell is around 38.2% fib level, or 50.0% fib level, or 61.8% fib level. If the price breaks beyond this level here, then that would mean we are now upwards. So as it is now, the monthly, we are basically expecting a sell, but only when the price gets to this level. The more it breaks these levels, the more we keep looking for a continuation pattern. So I hope that makes some sense. This is exactly what I expect to be happening on silver. If there's a buy on gold, I expect the same buy on silver, and if there's a similar sell on gold, then I expect the same trade here. So I'll be observing gold. I'll look for a trade on gold on all these time frames, and at the same time I look for a similar trade on silver on a similar time frame. So if there's a sell on gold daily, I want to see a sell on gold silver. On silver daily chart. The same thing applies for Forex. If there's a sell on gold on the forward chart, I want to see the same sell on silver Forex. So thank you very much. That should bring us to the end. We should meet again next time at the same. So thank you. See you.